You can create your own reality and walk it out to accept your husband, but not
Hmm.
the fact that I'm not going to get married. You don't have to even say that. That
I
don't.
know I know a lot of people say that. I shouldn't say that, but it's not what you guys think. It's thinking of it where if you were to put two people together, right? Myself, who wasn't raised to be a wife, and someone who was raised to be a wife, I would recommend that a guy choose the girl who was raised to be a wife. So it's just understanding the cards I was not necessarily dealt, but the cards that I currently have and navigating world, knowing that navigating dating, the dating world, knowing that okay, these are your cards. They're a little bit as a disadvantage, so navigate dating this way.
But life is
It's
not cookie cutter like that. Because let me share with you, I know many women that have been in my circle who are married, who what we would say were raised to be wives, and that would be
mm-hmm,
just because the example they came from. That don't mean they're good. Because see, there's
mm-hmm.
still character that comes with this. It's still the will to want to be married and to allow that man to lead you. You may know all the externals, cooking, cleaning, serving, but if your character and your heart is not in the right place, you're not a good wife.
Yeah, I understand that. Is and this is why that this whole topic is tricky because it's everything's the same, right? So the two women, everything remain consistent. Like characteristics the same, intentions the same, fitness level, femininity, submission, everything's the same. The disadvantage that's at me compared to the other woman is that I wasn't raised to be a wife. So then I have to work extra hard to prove, like, okay, even though I wasn't raised to be a wife, I still know because I'm still learning. I'm always a student. I think a lot of times we enter dating with knowing our intentions, but not being realistic enough to know where we fall. So it's like, yeah, your intentions might be pure, but here's where you fall. And I think once we understand where we fall, then we can navigate dating a little better.
I don't know if I agree with that because there's still a factor that you don't control that has to
Mm-hmm.
navigate
Faith.
the situation. It's the faith
Yeah.
and will to want to do something. And it's just like you don't have the knowledge today. Your eyes may not even be open to it today. But when there's a time and you ask for it, then your eyes will be open to it. And
Yeah. Yeah.
you all will be at the same place because again, we all, not we all, some of us come in with the externals, cooking and cleaning and all that. Haven't you ever heard that? God, my mama was mean as hell. You've heard that, right? But
Uh-huh.
she
Yeah.
might have been she might have been externally an excellent wife, or on the exterior, from outside looking in, she kept a perfect home. Her kids were always dressed very, very well, but she might have treated her husband like trash. Is that a good wife?
No, definitely not.
But she had all the externals. She
Yeah,
had
that's why I said everything, all things equal, both the external and internal equal. I'm
I,
still at a disadvantage.
I
It's
just
kind of like it's kind of like a student, an A student, as opposed to a all A but one B student. You're still a good student, but you have that one B. That one B is my disadvantage that I wasn't raised to be a wife. So I have to overcompensate. I have to prove that, hey, even though I have that one B, I'll still be qualified for this job or this university.
I happen to think again that your will to do is much stronger than the head knowledge.
Yeah, and I think we're talking about the same thing, but it's more of faith and work. And I think they both go hand in hand, faith and logic. I think if you know, okay, here's where I stand, I still have faith that things can happen, but logically, here's where I stand.
You know what's most so confusing to me is that my mother was, in my opinion, an excellent wife to death, right? I saw her be a wife, good times, bad times. Dad might not even came home to 2 o'clock in the morning. His food was still on the table. You know what I mean? But she told
Mm-hmm.
me she hated men.
Mm.
Huh, right. See what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
She would have preferred me to be an independent woman, get
Mm.
your own thing. You see what I'm saying? You see how conflicting, even though she did it, she did the ultimate thing that we should be doing, letting your husbands lead, let them be head of households, that, honor the provision and the protection that they give. And she was a wife. That's all she knew to be, right? but she still did not like men, and she didn't want me to go that direction. So I couldn't help but to watch her. I couldn't help but to see what she did every day. And I questioned it along the way, like, why are you fixing this plate? A couple times.
Would would you consider her a wife though, since her mentally she wasn't doing it out of love, she was just doing it out of
Duty.
duty?
Yes, I would, because a
Yeah.
great part of being a wife is duty.